The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. What's up? What's up? Internet, what you doing? It's the beginning of the show, and lots of people gonna get super mad 'cause I make weird noises at the beginning. Boop 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 boop. I like loading the show and making weird noises at the beginning because it's part of the fun. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's a lovely, glorious, magical, amazing, totally wild, crazy, bananas Friday. How you doing? How you doing, everybody? It's Friday, and we are experiencing snow poppyclips. Snow poppyclips up in here, snowpocalypse. I don't know what you want to call it. Snowmageddon. You could call it Snowmageddon. What is it? Snowzilla? Snowzilla! Coming in hot and fresh. Straight off the Pacific Ocean, it's Snowzilla. Top of the charts. Straight to our hearts. Number one with a bullet. Snowzilla! Raining down from the sky. What's up, everybody? Hopefully you're all having a fantastic Friday. It's been a little crazy here. I don't even know what I was really talking about there, but hopefully you get my drift. It's snowing like crazy, and that means snow is falling from the sky. By the bucket load. It's just blasting down out there, and we shall see what happens here. I've literally spent some time checking out the old weather blogs and stuff like that, seeing what's going on with the old weather action, and it looks like we're going to have a hell of a weather event here, and we shall see how this shapes out. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy, though. So earlier this week, it snowed like crazy. It ruined the Monday? It ruined everybody's Monday. Everybody's Monday was ruined. Then it went a little crazy throughout the week. It's been really cold. And then now we have a cold front with moisture, mountains, converging mayhem, and it looks like there will be, what do you call it? So there'll be a big event today, a big event tonight, and then supposedly one on Sunday, and then on Tuesday. I don't know. This may just be happening forever. Maybe I live in the Arctic North now. Maybe we live in the Arctic North here. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild what's going on here. But they said the last time this happened was 1996. And I do recall in 1996, there was a huge snowstorm, and it basically ruined all of Western Washington, Seattle to Olympia to Bellingham to Everett. All of the really majestic, beautiful cities out here in the Pacific Northwest, they were all ruined. They were all broken for like a week. And I literally was there's a big giant road, like a big old, like a 7-lane road, goes down this big hill. One of those days, I just spent riding my snowboard down it, and then hiking back up and riding back down it. Did that all day one day, because there just was no work. Nothing was open, and it was 1996, y'all. Back in 96, the best opportunity that you had to be, like, called in or something like that was, like, they hit you up on the beeper. You'd be like, beep, 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 and you got paged from your work, right, on the beeper. And then you'd be like, oh, man, I'm not calling them back. It would be like having, I guess to explain having a beeper, let me explain having a beeper to the young crowd out there. Having a beeper would be like having a thing that receives only text messages, but no letters or anything like that, only numbers, and you couldn't respond. That was, that's what a pager was. That's what a beeper was. It basically you would like call the phone number, and then you would type in the numbers that you wanted those numbers to be sent out to the basically like receiving a text message, but only in numbers. So you basically would be like, let me type in my phone number, and then it would send out the phone number to that person, and then they would get it, and they would go to a payphone, and they would put coins in there. I don't know if anybody out there has heard of coins, but they're these little silver disc things, right? You'd stick those into it, and there's a phone attached to a very durable cord. You know what I'm talking about? And then you would type in the phone number, and it would call. And you know what's weird is if you were a real gangster back in the day, I'm not saying that this is anything that I did or didn't do or had anything to do with or not. You could record the sounds of the coins falling into the phone. And then when it came time to make a phone call, you could actually you could hit 0, and it would call a lady called an operator. So that'd be like a lady in a whole nother building. And I say lady because I'd never gotten an operator that was a dude, so it's not a sexist thing. Just I never got one that was a guy. It was always a lady. It was always some lady. And it would call them, and you'd go like, I want to call 1-800-FISH-PANTS, right? Or I guess 1-800 was free, so that's not a good example. But you get what I'm saying. You're like, I want to call Florida and order my fish pants from Florida. You know what I'm saying? And, once you get your fish pants, but to make that phone call, because it was really far away, they would charge you a bunch of extra money. And then, so what you do is you'd be like, I want to call Florida. So you'd call the operator, and you'd be like, I don't know what's going on. Can you connect this call for me? They would connect it, and then the operator would be like, oh, it's $4 to complete this call, So then you'd be like, all right, hold on. And then you'd play the recorded sounds of the coins, those silver discs that we talked about before, dropping into the machine, and then they would give you credit. And then you'd be able to make all sorts of crazy phone calls. It may or may not have been a thing that people could have done at some point in time. Terry's Tropical Tank says, the first time I had a beeper on vibrate and it went off, I almost wrecked my truck. Yeah, I could imagine. That was probably pretty shocking. Or vibrating. Alarming. Mary's got the fish pants. Where'd you get those emojis from? Who's using any of the custom emojis? We have members in the chat. Let me see if do I have access to the custom emojis? Oh, I do. Yes. Yeah. I can do a custom emoji. What's up now? I better go back to the keyboard. That's confusing. Oh, it's confusing. I'm so old. I'm confused, guys, because of my old age. Anyhow, Brendan Doherty loved movie phone. I still do movie phone to Victoria every once in a while. I do the like, hello, thanks for calling movie phone. For Sharknado 9, press 3, you know? And, yeah. So we do, I did want to mention we have a new member to the member family. Stephen Pope, welcome. Stephen Pope, welcome to the membership. Only the members can use Emojis. You know what I mean? Creedmoor Aquatic says, we need the yellow arrow. That's right. The first custom emoji that I made was the bright yellow arrow. I figure, hey man, if people are fans of this arrow, right? You all should be able to have your own yellow arrow. And then you can be like, you can put the custom emoji in there to remind me that, oh yes, dude, we need you to engage the arrow. And then I'd be like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. Lumpy Dog says the lumpy button. If you guys don't know anything about a lumpy button, get on it. It's going to be crazy. Alyssa is stuck in the snow traffic. Oh man, we got the moderator extraordinaire stuck in traffic. What other moderators do we have in here? Uh-oh, it might be a free-for-all. Oh, there's Gillette. Oh, don't worry. Gillette, the best New Zealand's got. Oh, and I see 54 Punchy, too, so we're all right. We got mods. We got mods. Don't worry about it. But thank you for becoming a member, Stephen. And we also have somebody brand new. Oh, where did my thing go here? Say hello to... Oh, whoa. We have a new... Oh, I was gonna let you guys know that there was one new Patreon, but I was wrong because there one just came in from Bill and Seth. 2 brand new patronizers. Oh, that's crazy. Thanks for patronizing, you guys. I mean, that's the thing that keeps the wheels on this bus going round and round, is you guys and Patreon and members and all that kind of stuff, and you guys showing up to the chat and all that. If you don't know what the Patreon is, there's the link for it in the chat right there. You can go check it out if you like. It's how we fan fund. We do someday want to go 100% independent and just start making some really cool productions. You know, I'm doing the best I can right now. We do have lofty goals to try and go to places. And speaking of going to places, one of the things that we're going to be going to is this weekend going to the Willamette Valley Aquarium Club or Society. I don't know if it's club or society. I don't want to screw that up, but you know what I'm saying. Down in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. A bit of a drive for me, and I'm a little bit worried right now because this snowpocalypse might mean that I'm not going to be able to make it tomorrow. I don't know. It is snowing like crazy. And realistically, if the roads are looking okay-ish tomorrow, then I think I'll be fine. Because it doesn't really take me that long to get to the freeway from my house. So if what's the word I'm looking for here? If I can get to the freeway and the freeway's okay, then I'll probably head out and go on the road tripping. And then once we road tripping, then we road trekking, then we go hang out with old, let's see, Aqua Pros. If you guys are familiar with Mike from Aqua Pros, I'm going to go to his house and hopefully tour his fish room. Then we're going to tour a fish room. Then we're also going to go to a really cool store down in Oregon, film that, and film a couple other things, and some of the club. Hopefully somebody from the club. It sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but no worries. If I can make it down there, I'm going to do it. If it's really one of those things where it's like 99% out of 100 you're going to crash your vehicle and explode, then I'm not going to go. But I will say, this isn't even like a minor snow event. Like I said, we haven't had one like this in almost 25 years, so I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. If I have to push it to a different weekend, then maybe that's what'll happen. You know, that's what I'm going to do. If I can't do it this weekend, then I'm going to push it to another weekend, and then it's just, you know, I'll make some different videos, obviously, and, you know, do have some good videos coming out anyhow, but we'll do our best to keep producing stuff. But the whole reason I'm bringing that all up is because, A, that's what's going on, and B, it also has to do with the Patreon and the memberships and all that kind of stuff. I obviously would like to expand on doing like better productions and stuff. And one of the parallels to that is I was working yesterday. If you guys don't know, some of the days out of the week I do work for our boy from Aquarium Co-op there, Mr. Kobe. He hired me on for projects when he has projects that need doing, and a guy that can drill holes in his floor and, you know, put a pipe in and fix the things and things that get broken and they need repairing and stuff like that. Right now we're actually building some cool stuff for his warehouse, and I haven't shot any video about it. I have posted on Instagram about it a little bit, just kind of a little teaser so you guys know. Honestly, the stuff that we're doing is sort of just economizing the workspace for the people that are there. So kind of boring content, but hopefully we'll have some fish tank content coming up, and I'll shoot all of that all at the same time, just to kind of show you guys like what I was doing, and then you'd be like, oh, I could see why this was only a 20-second clip or something, because it's not super exciting. Now, I was up there doing that. I was listening, as you guys know, I play YouTube in the background, and I normally just listen to videos while I'm working. I don't watch them, but I just listen to what's happening. You know, I mean, Peter McKinnon shoots really pretty videos, but I almost get I get the exact same out of it from just listening to whatever they're talking about, right? Personally, that's just me. But Linus Tech Tips was playing, and they had done a 10-year. You know, when they started 10 years ago to where they're at now, and they showed all of the, they were doing all the equipment. They did all the equipment, basically, like what they started out with, and he detailed, you know, the new cameras that they've gotten over the years, new recording, new editing, computers, you know, all that kind of stuff. They went over that, and they were showing examples of some of the old videos and things like that. And you do realize that, you know, those big YouTube channels out there, they are basically, you know, they're basically like a news station. They're like a, you know, they've got studio spaces, they've got, you know, full-on professional lighting, multiple, you know, I'm not saying I ever want $20,000 or $30,000 cameras, but that's what those guys are operating with. You know, so you start to understand that, like, you know, somebody who has 10 million subscribers on YouTube, they really are doing a production. Well, obviously there are some YouTubers out there that still are shooting on a potato and don't care. You know what I mean? Like, but a lot of them out there really are putting a ton of you know, production into their YouTube channel and stuff. And I do have plans of doing that someday. Well, as you guys know, I'm always trying to upgrade and find us a good deal and stuff. I may have or may not have found a good deal on upgrading one of the cameras that I regularly shoot with. So we'll see how that shakes out. But we'll see. We'll see. I haven't 100% made up my mind whether I'm going to pull the trigger or not, because I'm going to have to put it onto credit. And you guys know how cranky I get when it comes to like putting things on credit. Like this computer. When the computer blew up, I had to do it, you know? Joel Gillett says, I recommend Flynn for the Linus job. I literally, this morning, speaking of that, I got up this morning, and Linus Tech Tips is hiring a bunch of people. And if you guys don't know, they're in Vancouver, Canada. And Brendan Flynn from Flynn's Fish Room. He's a young guy up in Vancouver, Canada, and I literally popped onto Facebook. I copied and pasted and sent it to him in Messenger, and I was like, "This is not spam, bro. I'm literally sending you this video because they're hiring like 30 people or something crazy like that. They need new editors and light people and people to help with cameras and stuff. And he's a young kid with a lot of power. He's got a lot of power and ferocity. And, I was like, man, go get it. Go get it. That would be a fantastic deal, And we got a super chat here from the Aquarium Co-op saying, camera fund, you say? I see what you're doing. But, I think that would be a perfect example of a perfect situation for a guy like Brendan Flynn to get in with a big YouTuber. It's like Jimmy going to Aquarium Co-op. Like, perfect example, guy being able to, go out there, do some work with stuff that he wants to do long term. But we got 2 new members, Chad Krotz and Mary RNH2O. My God, we got members. We got all sorts of stuff. Jen's asking, is Flynn a tech guy? I'm not sure he's 100. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a tech guy, but, being like 17 or 18, I don't know exactly how old he is. He might be a little younger or maybe a little older. I don't want to offend anybody, but him being a young guy, he has a pretty quick take on tech stuff, and they need people to work and like come basically apprentice under the people that are already doing the job. So I was like, man, that could be a huge situation for Brendan Flynn to get into. Could be really beneficial for him. I never heard back from him, so I don't know. Maybe he's got snowpocalypse up in Vancouver. Actually, you know what? Coming to think of it, looking at the weather report, the snowpocalypse came from up north, so maybe maybe all the Canadians are already like in a impromptu igloo situation up there going on. I don't know, but. We also got a $1.99 super chat from Fish Keeperist. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. For the road trip monies for the old gas. Snow is just ghosts exploding. Well, thanks, Corey. And the fish tank barn with a Corvus and Koopy snowblower fund. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I don't know that I need a snowblower. I am going to have to get out and sweep the stairs and the porch again, though. I did throw down some salt ahead of time this time, though. So I did notice that the upper porch area is not accumulating a ton of snow because I put down some reef salt. Is that wrong? It was the only like bulk salt that I had was some Seachem reef salt. I don't know. Uh-oh, Jen's in Vancouver. It's probably just Brendan doesn't want to respond to my Facebook messages. You know what I mean? Bentley Pascal got to work at 4 a.m. today, left at noon to dodge the Snowmageddon 2 Electric Boogaloo. Well, I think there's supposed to be like 4 phases of this Snowmageddon. So we'll see how it goes. But thanks, everybody, for coming out. Let's get to the video segment because we have to get to that. Or should we get to the Patreon segment first? Throw down in the chat, let me know, and I will talk for just a second about our affiliate sponsor. Oops. I don't know, where'd my link go? Oh, there we go. Yes, there it is. Okay. Copy to clipboard. There we go. If you guys don't know, the Aquarium Co-op is our affiliate sponsor, along with Amazon is an affiliate sponsor. Also, we'll get to that in just a second. Well, hold on. I'll put it in here also. Boom. I'll have it prepared. There we go. Aquarium Co-op is from Edmonds, Washington, which is like 60 miles from me. Just goes to show you how much I am willing to support a company that I really believe in when I drive all the way up there and all the way back to help out with things and do all that kind of stuff. But Corey is our affiliate sponsor for the main reason from the Aquarium Co-op. I'm going to cough during this. I might die. And how this whole situation works. But the reason that they are our affiliate sponsors, I believe in the company, I believe in the people that work there, and they really take care to make sure that there's good products for you guys to get at a good price. The shipping's awesome. The care, attention to detail is awesome, along with all the other things. You guys get it. You guys know it. There's 108 of you in here. It's pretty slow for a Friday, but you guys get it. You understand. If you go through basically the affiliate link and you go buy stuff at Aquarium Co-op, hey, it lets them know that we sent you, and that's how it works. Same darn thing with Amazon, except I don't really have that great of an opinion of Amazon. I just know you guys use it like crazy. Dude, it's like almost worth $1 trillion or something crazy like that at this point. Obviously, Amazon is a gigantic company. You guys have heard of it. You go there, you buy stuff, whatever. Just before you go to Amazon, make sure that you go through somebody's affiliate link, whether it be a charity that you really like or, what do you call it? What's the word? A creator that you really like, somebody that you want to support. Go through that before you go buy stuff on Amazon because you probably accidentally clicked on an affiliate, pop-up window or a commercial, or you probably you probably looked at something on Facebook and you got a cookie stored in your browser. So you should do that before you go buy stuff at Amazon. It doesn't matter what you're going to go buy there, whether it's makeup, computer parts, karate lessons, driftwood. I found some cool driftwood on there a little while ago. But you can go to my Amazon store, and there's a bunch of products there that I've bought, and just let you know that, like, oh, this is where I got this, and in case you were confused by one of my videos or something. So just make sure you do that before you go there. Boom. Commercial part is over. Moving on. But nobody even said whether they want to see the video or not. Oh, Swift Aquarium says video, and only one person said what they wanted. So we go to the video. Snowpocalypse has begun. Get ready, cause it's cold outside. Oh, I gotta start at the beginning. Boo! There we go. I'm just gonna keep playing this beginning part because it's snowpocalypse, snowpocalypse. Don't you forget, don't you forget. Dom's asking, does the Amazon link works for Canada also? Yes. Works for Canada, UK, a bunch of other countries too. Italy, Australia, not New Zealand, but there's a bunch of countries and stuff. Just make sure you go through somebody's affiliate before you go in there. Anyhow, let's go back to Snowpocalypse. Snowpocalypse, it's totally crazy. Snowpocalypse will blow your mind. Snowpocalypse and you'll go nuts. Sorry about that. I dropped a thing and it made me lose my mind because of Snowpocalypse. Oh, there we go. Snowpocalypse is over for you guys. Don't worry. Don't worry, your pretty little heads. We'd be moving on to the video pod where we all get ready to be able to go inside where it's kind of tropical planty, at least underwater in the meantime. Now, as you guys know, the 150-gallon aquarium here is mainly focused on, we're breeding the Neocaridina, the cherry shrimps. You can see them in there. Let me activate the arrow. Boom! Oh, red arrow. What? You can see there's shrimp right there. Shrimp right there. I don't know where I happen to see any other. Oh, there's another one there, another one there. You can see them moving around. I do realize I have this sped up. This is sped up a little bit. So bear with us. It's hard to really spot the shrimp exactly. But that's the main feature of this aquarium, basically breeding a ton of cherry shrimp. Neocaridina shrimp are pretty easy to take care of. And one of the big things with Neocaridina shrimp that makes them so awesome is A, they're beautiful, and B, easy to care for. They can live in a wide variety of water conditions, from I think a pH like 6.2 all the way up to like 8.4. It's a big, wide berth for the pH that they can live in. But I would remind people that, hey, if you're going to have, either a high or a low pH, you really, really keep it consistent. You're going to have to keep it consistent. If you don't, that's where you'll run into a problem. Stressing out about high or low pH is kind of a waste of time when it comes to Neocaridina, because they'll just adapt to your water as long as you can keep it consistent. That's going to be the thing that you need to focus on, is making sure that you don't have big pH swings. So you just kind of want to buffer the water up. Use something to buffer the water, or make sure that you're just not doing anything nuts to make the pH swing rapidly. Plants are... people don't really realize this, but a great way to create stability in an aquarium is plants. Plants are great at helping to maintain good balance in water. Obviously, plants don't necessarily live in all types of water. So, if you have something really brackish, you're going to have to find some very specific plants. But in a freshwater shrimp tank and stuff like that, it definitely helps keep your tank parameters very consistent if you are growing plants in them and stuff. So I definitely do recommend a planted aquarium for any shrimp environment that you're trying to do. It's definitely going to be beneficial for many reasons, not only to keep your water parameters in check, but it is also a location where your shrimp are essentially going to be finding 99% of the food that they eat. That's going to come in all of the microorganisms and biofilm and everything that they're collecting. You ever notice that shrimp feed all the time? They're constantly eating all of the time. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're grazing on, and that's most of what they eat. Plants are the perfect surface for the main food that they do eat is all the microorganisms, the biofilm, and all that kind of stuff. That's what they're looking around for, and that's what they're feeding on mostly. Yes, you want to supplement a little bit of food. There are some pretty simple shrimp foods out there that you could find, whether it be Shirakura, which is a good little pellet food. You could get any of the Shrimp King foods. He's got a ton of them, and those are all pretty fantastic. I found them to be working pretty well. I haven't tried them all, but the ones that I've tested out, I found yes, they do exactly what they're supposed to do. There are some pastes out there like the Yummy Gum and that kind of stuff that is a lot of fun. There's Rapashi. There's quite a few shrimp foods out there that are pretty comprehensive now. It has made it a lot easier to feed your shrimp than it used to be. It used to be a bit of a problem to really try and come up with shrimp food, but nowadays it's almost like, hey, if you got a couple of bucks, you could get a good shrimp food, and then it's just really going to be pretty easy for you to feed them. Feeding them's pretty easy, especially if you have a lot of plants growing in your tank. Feeding them becomes really easy, and they definitely start to breed like crazy. Ginger Graves is asking, is that pink flamingo crypts you brought back got frozen and you've been nursing back to health? If so, they look so much better than mine, and mine didn't freeze. Oh, I hate to say, yes. That's one. This one right here looks pretty haggard. I gotta move my arrow's going all the wrong direction, guys. I gotta hold on to the arrow. Oh, that's location. Whoa, where'd it go? Uh-oh. We've lost the arrow. Oh. Okay. Yes. Whoa. Ah, perfect. Okay. We're cool with that. It got bigger and smaller. Oh, here. Oh, I got to move it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's a pink flamingo right there. That's a pink flamingo. That's a baby one from this one. And this one's sending out some little babies and stuff now. This one just hasn't done that all that well. This one's doing okay, but this one's doing fine. So I would say 3 out of these 5 are doing pretty good, I would say, personally. So, yes, that actually is them, and that is that was a real humdinger when they got frozen, bringing them back from the aquatic experience, and they have come back pretty well. I'm not sure if you're having a problem with yours, what could be going on, but You can always email me or Patreon a little bit of a post, and we can definitely start out a brainstorming session and start to figure out like what could be going on in your tank. It's really hard to like diagnose somebody's tank in the chat. You guys nowadays are like you guys are almost like 30 seconds behind me on the delay now. I think some bad things happened on the YouTube streaming, and they made it even longer. So, but I also think that the members aren't as far delayed as everybody else. The members are much closer to real time. So it's very hard to go back and forth in the chat and ask questions and stuff, but you can send in those questions, and we can do our best to help answer them. Scott says, I kill Alternanthera renekii like a murderer. Well, don't murder it. Just nurse it a little bit. Swift Aquarium says pH of 10.5 is like Bleach. I think Bleach is like what, 11? Something like that. Let's Google this. I'm intrigued now. I can't remember what it is. pH of Bleach. The pH of Bleach. Oh, it's 12. It's 12. The pH of 12. That's pretty high. I think 14 is as high as it goes, right? That's as high as the chart goes. Oh, here we go. Here we go now. We got ourselves a rainbow pH chart. Okay. Battery acid is 1. Gastric acid is 2. Hydrochloric acid is 3. Soda, right there at the 4. Acid rain, 5. Black coffee is a 6. I drink a lot of that. Urine, saliva, right there at neutral. Pure water, 7. And urine and saliva all right around in the 7 range. Seawater's about 9. Baking soda, 10. Milk of magnesium, 11. Ammonia, 12. Soapy water, 12. Bleach, 13 on this one. Drain cleaner at 14. All right. Oh, man, look how cool this one is. Man. I wonder if I can actually show this to you guys. Hold on a second. Let me see. Add source. We need to go to screen capture. Smart selection. Let me see if I can. This is the coolest pH chart I've seen in a long time. Oh, now I have to go over here. There we go. Yep. Takes a second. I don't know who. Oh. How do I close this? I guess we'll just go like that. So let's move it over here so it's a little out of the way. But you can see ammonia is really high. Soapy water, bleach, liquid drain cleaner. Whew. But then we go down here to battery. What? What is going on? Oh, some idiot is out there racing his car up and down the street in the snow apocalypse. This is why I don't condone violence, you guys. I don't condone violence because it's times like these. It's times like these. Oh, whoops. What's going on? Oh, I have to turn this off. Window region closed. Yeah, the guy's out there racing around like a crazy person and making my baby cry. I heard my baby start crying. What a douche. I don't know if I'm allowed to say douche anymore on the internet. I think people get mad nowadays. Fish Keeperist is asking, keep hearing Caridina Dennerly. I forgot. I don't know how to say that. I know them as Sulawesi shrimp. And it says, is hard to breed. Yeah, they are hard to breed. I will 100%. Whoever's saying that, they're right. The Sulawesi is, I had problem after problem after problem, and I wish I could give you advice other than just be like, hey, you got to keep your water clean, and you got to have good water conditions, blah, 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 which is what everybody always says. But there wasn't really, you know, you got to keep your pH low on them. But there wasn't really a thing that I could point to and be like, let me give you like the secret, because they just were a pain. But I guess the one thing of advice that I could give you is a big tank is more helpful than a small tank. Planted would be good. Hopefully the plants would be a better indicator quicker than the shrimp, but you know, shrimp colonies can just get blasted overnight. So, but yeah, they are quite difficult. Rumbust with a 1732 Swedish Krones super chat. Thanks, brother. Always kicking into the tip jar around here, and I'm always appreciating it. Cat got my tongue. Snowpocalypse got my tongue. Al Janeco says, I have a consistent pH at 8.2. What shrimp do you recommend? I think that high, I would probably go, like a ghost shrimp would be fine. They would be kind of fun, but they get boring really fast. I would go with Neocaridinas that were bred locally. If you could find something, you know, within a 50-mile radius. When I say locally, I don't mean like it has to be next door, but find some locally bred Neos, aquacultured Neos, and you'll be pretty good. 8.2 is sort of the cusp, but if you keep it pretty consistent and make sure you kind of buffer the water up a little bit with, you know, maybe some almond leaves and a little bit of crushed coral and stuff like that, so there is always enough minerals and things in the water for them, they'll be pretty good. You know, keep it, just as long as you keep it nice and consistent. Just make sure there's no salts. Salts are always going to be a bad deal for shrimp. Even if those salts are coming in from your water supply, so check on that and make sure you're good there. Otherwise, you probably have to go a bit of a different direction with the type of shrimps that you're going to go for. If you do have a little bit of brackish to your water, a mono shrimp, not a bad idea. They can do well kind of with even just a little bit of brackish and stuff like that. And most people don't realize that you could be adding salt. You could be adding salt to your aquarium with water changes. You know what I mean? So, you know. Creedmoor Aquatics, does anyone know a cheap source for 240-gallon shrimp tanks? I don't think there's any cheap source for a 240-gallon anything. Maybe a IBC container? You could probably do that. They're like $300. They're not see-through, though. But that would be a pretty good... that's probably the cheapest water-holding solution that I know of, because you can buy those things for like $75. Stefan, someone's saying hello. What did I do? Hello. What's up, buddy? I don't think anyone's ignoring you. Let's see. How long can shrimp stay in a breeder box in a 55-gallon tank? I mean, I can't imagine there's really a timeline. But as long as they're getting fed a little bit of food, it'll probably be fine. But the limited space and roaming and then just how out in the open that is will probably like start to stress them out over time. So I would be concerned about that. I'd be concerned that they get super stressed out and end up like having a freak out and dying that way, you know? Infinite Express, how do I get rid of BBA on my pearl Wheeze? I think you mean pearl weed. Trim the tops off and replant them. That's going to be the only way. It's the only way. But if you have BBA growing on pearl weed, considering how fast pearl weed grows, you got bigger problems. Start doing some water changes, balance your system. Snowflake3981 says, Joel, what brand heater do you recommend? Heating the whole room is not an option for me, and I'm constantly worried my heaters will malfunction. Snowflake, I definitely recommend these Fluval heaters. I started messing with these Fluval heaters after one of my... Where did it go? Let me see if I can't find this here. Amazon, let's go to Amazon, 'cause Amazon. I got links in here. Fluval heater. But I have to find the right heater here. Oh, the E-Series. Yeah, they're coming in not too bad in the price. The 300 watt, it's like $45. And I bought some of these just a little while ago. Let's see. March. Oh, coming up on a year. Coming up on a year since I bought some of these. But I'm definitely enjoying I wouldn't say that there's like a giant difference in the quality. Like, they work pretty good. They seem to work as well as other good quality, like the Eheim Jaegers. The Eheim Jaegers right now are on Amazon are like $32 instead of $45. But the Eheim Jaegers are missing a couple of things that the Fluvalls have, and that's like a digital screen that gives you an alert if something's wrong, a digital readout to tell you what the actual temperature is. The Fluval has a flashlight on it to tell you if it's hot or cold or not enough flow on it and stuff like that. And it seems to be working out really well. So the ones that I bought have worked great, and they've been doing pretty well. I don't think that there's necessarily like a perfect aquarium heater out there at this point, because unless you want to hook up like some real professional thermostats on an actual hot water heater tank and run it that way, that would probably be the only semi-professional way to do it. Like, you would need to actually run the water through a hot water heater with, dual thermostats on it to double check the water coming in and the water going out, and also the thermostat on the actual boiler temp. You're going to have to double up on that thing. It would be a lot to try and make something that's perfect. But, at $45, I think the lower wattage ones are cheaper, but at $45, something that has a screen that tells you if it's broken or tells you if it's working right, I think it's pretty paramount, and I've been happy with them. I've been happy with them so far. The Eheim Jaegers are the other ones that I would recommend to people, but as I mentioned, they do have some issues from time to time, like all the heaters do. There's no one magical one out there. Like, they're all going to break at some point in time. So, as Mark Dibble's asking, anyone ever had a heater stick on? Yes, 100%, and it sucks. It's terrible. It's a drag. But the one thing about those Fluvalls is that if the heater is malfunctioning, it has a screen on it that will tell you that it's malfunctioning. So that's a good deal. And on top of it, you would know if it was malfunctioning if the screen stops working. I certainly am not a person that checks to see if my heaters are working every day. I think it would be weird that if anybody was actually doing that on like all their tanks. Like, if they had a bunch of tanks, it would be weird that they were checking them all. I'm super surprised that nobody has even mentioned this Bucephalandra right here. Look at all those. It's flower here, flower there, flower there. 4 flowers. 4 flowers on this one big piece of Bucephalandra. Fancy. Maybe somebody did, and I didn't even notice it. Savannah the Aqua Llama likes the short, spiky, pinkish plants too. Yeah. Me also. I agree. It's Nature Man tried the Eheim heater with the Superman colored dials. It would shut every week and not come back on. Maybe I got a bad one. I don't know. Yeah, that's one of those things about the Eheim and the Fluval. They have pretty great warranties on them. I think they're all going to break, but if they break within a certain amount of time, I think that they should be replaced. I think Fluval has a 3-year, and I think Eheim Jaeger has some kind of limited lifetime thing. I don't know. But I do know that if my Fluval heaters break, I can take them up to Aquarium Co-op and swap them out within the time frame, which I think is 3 years. I don't know. Could be wrong, though. Angry React says, I have still I still have a decade-old Ebo Jaeger working on my 55. It's one of those heaters you just can't fully submerse. And I'm just waiting for the day it finally kicks the bucket. Yeah, that could happen. Ginger Grave says I'm just bragging now. No, not all of my plants look great. My lilies are having issues. The booses are stupid and grow slowly. And this styrogyne is all blown out on my camera here. I've got issues, you guys. Trust me when I say I've got issues. I've got issues that need to be fixed. I need to hire a cameraman one of these days, you know? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyhow, we've looked at this video a lot. We got to do our Friday thing and go to the Patreonizers. We got to check out the Patreonizers, which means I got to scoot over here a little bit, and then I've got to... Oh. You figured I would have done this ahead of time, but there isn't much that I can do about it. There we go. Haha. Christopher Grasek, who's one of our new producers on the Patreon. If you guys don't know, those producer slots are filling up. Christopher is one of our new producers over there, and we're going to see what he wants his video topic to be. We shall see what it's going to be. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. It could be a mystery. It could be mysterious. But he's one of our new producers there, and he sent in... Whoops, I got my thing in... Hold on, I got my chat window busting in there. Hold on. You guys have your own chat windows. You don't need to see mine. It says Grassy Peak checking in with the... Pelvis Sacromus Sacramontis. I got that totally wrong. Azumini River. What a great little Pelvichromis. I kind of miss mine now. I had some of these a while ago, and now I miss them again. But those are majestic. And this is an all-natural aquarium. Look at that. Some algae, plants growing, fish doing awesome. That's all natural. That's an eau de naturel, you know what I'm saying? And here's the fry from the Azumini River fry. Look at these little busters right here. We've got ourselves... we've got ourselves an arrow situation. Whoosh! Arrow time! Check out these fry here. Dude, I'm excited. This is cool. And it's another reason why I love... it's probably one of the biggest two reasons that I love fish is that they breed and they're pretty. That'd probably be the two main reasons why I like fish. Maybe breeding is number two. I think it would be weird that number one is that they breed. Is that weird? Yeah, that's probably the deal. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to post links in the chat so people know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that link is. I need to find the correct link. Sorry, guys. I don't have a link to the Patreon. Hold on. Oh, I got it here. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys can find it for later reference in case you're wondering what the Patreon is and you want to go there and like post your own pictures of stuff. This is one of the fun things about the Patreon. We go over here and we get to check out your guys' community posts on the show, on the internet, and probably get some of your cool stuff put out there so we can get more people involved. And maybe you got a question. Maybe you got a concern. Maybe you got a complaint. This is a great place to put them in. It's maybe not... What is going on here? It's just... There. Stop doing that. Maybe it's not a great place to just throw concerns and complaints at me in the YouTube comment section. Maybe it's a better place to, I don't know, sign up for Patreon and then tell me you have a problem. Right? I think that's probably good. I think that's how that works, right? Because then once you're part of the fam, then we can all talk about whether or not I should sing at the beginning of the show or not. Because I always sing like this, you know, and then people get mad. And they're like, this idiot's making stupid noises with his mouth. I'm going to make idiot noises with my fingers. That's how those guys type too, by the way, with just their index fingers. Anyhow, Luke Locken, Luke sent in, hey everyone, I'm setting up a 20-gallon tank which will have 2 sponge filters and live plants for my son who has just turned 4. Every time we go to the fish store, he seems to like feeder goldfish and guppies since it's a 20 long. Guppies it is. I really need suggestions on what to put them with, or to put with them, especially a bottom feeder. This will be my first time dealing with a live bear. The place I lived at before had soft, low pH water, so I stayed away from them. Thanks in advance for all of the help. Well, you know, you can always add a little bit of crushed coral. You get pantyhose. You get a pantyhose and you just cut the foot off. Take that foot portion, put some crushed coral in there, and hang it off the edge of the tank into the water. That'll be the better way to do it. Mark Dibble's just here for more Yellow Arrow. Well, hey, all of the people that have become a member have access to the Yellow Arrow. They should be throwing it in. Swift Aquarium's got it. It's quick on the draw. Quick on the draw. Yeah. Yes. Luke, I'm glad to hear this. This is great. Now, bottom feeders, we do have some feedback from a bunch of patronizers on the bottom here. I don't want to spoil these comments from people, but bottom feeders with some guppies, I almost always recommend some really kind of docile Corydoras that will fit into the same water parameters as the guppies. You don't want any super high pH for guppies or Corydoras more often than not, but you do want to have some good mineral to the water. That's going to be the big thing. Calcium and magnesium and other vitamins that them fishes are going to need to stay healthy. That's going to be the big thing. But I would definitely go with some Corydoras or something like that. Maybe some bristlenose plecos. Those would be pretty cool. Obviously, my main go-to would probably be some shrimp that could eat the detritus down there and kind of stir things up. But I would probably go with Malaysian trumpet snails if I was going to keep things stirred up and go with some kind of shrimp. I'd probably get something like a mono shrimp or something like that that's a little bit bigger and not going to overpopulate a 20-gallon tank. That's probably not going to be a great idea. But they will sift around down there a bit and stir things up, and I'd probably go something like that. Nothing too crazy. A 20 long is going to be a lot of fun once those guppies get in there and start breeding. And this sounds great. Sounds like a great setup to me, especially for, I mean, really anybody out there. But any kids out there would definitely love it. Alyssa Bentley posted in. She popped into the old community out there. She's a moderator and an oceaneer. We got to put that out there. Disclaimer, she be both. You know what I'm talking about. Says, so I found a Bacopa will flower if you ignore it long enough. That's awesome. I found out, actually, Corey and Jimmy were up in my fish room just a little while ago, and they both found out that Pogostemon stellatus octopus will also flower if you grow it above the water while they were here. So, thumbs up to you, Alyssa, and thumbs up to me. We's all learning. We's learning here on the show. These plants will flower up in the air, and mainly because there's so much CO2 in the air, they're able to pull it off. You know what I'm saying? Digging that, and I definitely enjoy this flower. And let's not forget, we got to point an arrow at it because that's awesome. And then we'll turn the arrow back off because we don't want to spoil everybody with too many arrows, if you know what I'm saying. Whoa, Johan coming in. Johan normally gives us the fish of the week that we're going to be going into, but got something slightly different for us this week, and I certainly dig it. I'm digging this, and you guys, this is for those of you out there that want to do cheap CO2, this is the cheapest way to add CO2 to your tank. A great example of a place that we went to that actually operates a whole entire store was, oh no, I want to say, it's in San Francisco. Ocean Aquarium? No, that's not right. Can't remember the name of it, but we went to a whole store in San Francisco that was great. It was an awesome store. It was really cool. Tons of plants, tons of tanks, tons of cool stuff. Old school for sure. This is how they added CO2 to their aquarium. Now, he's asking, you ever seen the CO2 set? Every 24 hours, you fill the plastic. Now, it says box, but it's like an upside down 1 liter or something like that with the bottom cut off. The water absorbs the CO2. Any thoughts? Will this work as good as a set with a diffuser? Does the water absorb the CO2 at night also? Yes. 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 Does this work as well? No, it does not work as well, but it will absorb CO2 over the night, and your water column will absorb some of the CO2. And once it gets empty of CO2 in here, you got to add more. That's basically how it goes. It's not aggressive. It's not totally wild, but it is a way that you can definitely save a lot of money. And if you are somebody in an area where they can't get CO2 to you for whatever reason, the reasons are vast and wild as to why people can't get CO2 canisters or get them filled or anything like that. And so I don't mean to like say why people could get it or not, but this could be a good option if you can get one of these disposable CO2s and just fill that up. It will last a lot longer. So that is the definite upside. Is it's much cheaper and will last a lot longer than diffusing or anything like that. So let's see here. Every time I hit the like button on their post, it removes my chat, and then my chat disappears. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to move you guys over here. Now you're all tiny, though, so I'm going to make you bigger. Why'd you guys get so small? It's weird. All right, our next post comes from Daniel, Keeping Fish. Said, just wanted to share this sweet bit of wood I found at the local fish store because I'm stoked with it. It's hollow all the way through. The pleco and catfish are going to love it. And you're correct on all cases there again. This is an awesome piece. It's rad to see that it actually is hollow that goes all the way through. And it looks great underwater. You know, it looks good here dry, but it looks even better underwater. And I can't imagine a fish out there that would not be enjoying this. I cannot imagine a fish that would just be like, nah, I don't like swimming around in hollow logs and stuff where it's all super safe and cozy. It's like, this is the presidential suite for any fish, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool. I do wonder where you got it, though, because I think Daniel is somewhere in Washington, so I might be interested in like where he went to go get that hollow piece of wood. Hex Tank Apologist posted this up today and made me laugh, literally out loud. Fact, hex tanks are 78% stronger than rectangular tanks. I don't know if that's true or not, but let's see where the source comes from. My great-great-grandfather's Fish Collector's Almanac, 1897 Bulgarian Special Edition, very rare. Just like Beats and Battlestar Galactica. Question, when I visited Petco last week to take advantage of the $1 per gallon sale, I was shocked to find no hex tanks. I decided to find out for myself what the hype about rectangular aquariums was all about, so I purchased what they called a 20-gallon long. During my integrity testing, I discovered a section on the outside of the tank at the bottom was missing sealant under the plastic trim. It appeared to have sealant on all other sections of the bottom of the trim except this 2-inch portion, and the inside sealant appeared fine. In the picture above, it's the section highlighted, the section that looks dry. Everywhere else, you can clearly see sealant between the glass and the trim. So far, no leaks. Do you think I'll have any problems down the road? Should I return it? I will say this. I read that whole post out loud, and I'll tell you this, it's fine. The trim and the sealant that is on there is only just so that the trim doesn't fall off, basically. The trim is going to be handling the load from the vertical and the connection piece right there just to hold that corner in place. That's basically all that it's doing. It's not really doing all that much, and it's certainly... The bottom one doesn't really need that much on it because typically the whole tank and everything would be sitting on it. That'd stop it from falling off, right? That's the only reason it's on there is silicone is cheap. So they put some on there, and you should be super fine. Super duper fine. Jay Swift sent in an awesome breakdown to give you guys an idea of actually how the actual math works. So he got bored. He got bored and wanted to test the bubbles don't add oxygen to your water statement. Too long didn't read. My 12-gallon tank with a small air pump gets 1% of its air exchange from the bubbles themselves. So I whipped out the spreadsheet. First things first, gaseous exchange with the fluid is typically done between 20 and 200 or 0.02 and 0.2 millimeters from the surface. So my assumption here is that the bubbles has a fully active surface and do not get fully saturated. So I think the big issue here right out the gate would be the fact that the bubbles that are breaking the surface isn't necessarily what's adding oxygen to the water itself, but it's the act of actually moving different water molecules from lower to up through capillary action, right? You've got something in there that's moving the water a little bit away from the surface, so there's an opportunity for a gas exchange from the new molecules that actually get pushed out by the old molecules. Now, the easiest way to do that is an air stone or a water pump. Either way, they work pretty well based off of that theory. So you think that if you don't otherwise do that, all of the oxygen will just accumulate right at the top and then not actually get mixed into the water column where it would actually have some benefit. Woo! Does that feel like long-winded? It's going to get longer probably. So also, I know my chart has volumetric flow rate in hours and bubbles in seconds. Those are the units people typically use when taking those given measurements. I've also accounted for them within the cells. As a reference, my teeny tiny aquarium air pumps say that they can manage 15 liters an hour, and an Eheim Air 400 can do 400 liters an hour. Gemco's largest linear piston pump does 12,000 liters an hour. Example tank surface areas. So you get all the surface areas there. From what you can see in the spreadsheet compared to the surface area of the tanks listed, you can see that the bubbles basically never equate to the top surface area of the tank, and if they did, probably only plecos and hillstream loaches would be capable of withstanding the corresponding torrent of bubbles. So you get the idea here. Yes, the actual air bubbles themselves aren't actually doing much as far as adding some oxygen to the tank or allowing an oxygen exchange to happen at the top of the tank. The real action going on there is capillary action, which is actually rotating the water molecules around and also pushing the air molecules away a little bit from where they had just exchanged some. Whoa. That was crazy. There we go. Where they had just exchanged some of their oxygen with that current surface tension situation. Now, I know this is a little bit confusing to people, but needless to say, it's basically boils down to the air is just agitating and breaking up the surface area to allow those other water molecules to be able to grab that extra oxygen that they're trying to find. That's basically what it comes down to. Big D Smoke says, man, sometimes I wish I could take a knife and cut out my lower back. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I've been having that feeling at least once a week. Swift says, yeah, lots of spreadsheet math to tell you just to shake up the top surface. Yeah, it's pretty much what it boils down to. Creamer Aquatics says, Corey's tour of ocean aquariums in San Francisco had the Gatorade bottles in the tanks they fill daily from the CO2 bottle. Yeah, Ocean Aquarium. I guess I got it right, and I second-guessed myself. So, yeah, Ocean Aquarium does that with the CO2. And honestly, guys, I'm getting super hungry. I got to jammy. I got a jammy, and I also got to go out and check the road and see what's going on with the road, because I'm honestly starting to get worried, you guys. Starting to get worried whether or not I'm going to be able to make it to Oregon tomorrow or not. I hope I can, but it's looking more and more doubtful every time I look out there. But hit that like button if you didn't hit the like button so we can get a like spike going on, and maybe YouTube will share this video out with someone that's never seen a video before. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And hopefully everybody had a fantastic day today. I want to say thanks to our new members of the day. Let's see. New members. Mary RNH2O. Nice. Chad Krotz and Stephen Pope. Those are all our new members of the day. And a big shout out to all the super chatters today. The Fish Tank Barn, Aquarium Co-op, Fish Keeperist, the Co-op again, and Fish Keeperist. You guys doubled up. And Rumbust. Man. We got some supporters doubling up today. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be good, I suppose. But if you're not a member, go ahead and become a member. If you're not a patronizer, go ahead and become a patronizer. Or just go buy stuff. Or just hit the like button. There you go. Lots of options to support the channel in easy, magnificent ways. I hope everyone has a fantastic week out there. And I'm going to see you all very, very soon. So, have a fantastic weekend. And don't be... don't be all mopey and don't be a bad sport about it, but I got to go. And I'll holla at y'all later.